Hello everyone, welcome to beautiful Madison, Wisconsin for another edition of Builder Spotlight Television. I'm your host Rich Noonan, and it's actually sweater weather here in Madison today. You gotta love that. This program is dedicated to telling you the stories of America's best builders, and we have certainly found one of them here. Revival Homes has been doing things much differently, and the people of Madison and the surrounding region love it. Builder Spotlight Television starts now. Very rarely do we find a builder who is changing his industry, but Chris Cook and his company Revival Homes are doing just that. Chris might be the most copied builder in America. His commitment to being different and his defense of tradition has made him one of the most sought-after builders in this part of the country. Chris Cook loves the old days, but he is also on the cutting edge of building, using every modern tool to make every Revival home something really special.
I think for me a lot of it is faith. The Lord has blessed me with a strong back and a strong mind. My parents taught me how to use both, and I've always looked for opportunity. I've kind of had this feeling that housing is going in a new direction. People want smaller homes, but they want better features, and I really like to build homes that like them to transcend time. And I've got I really enjoy trying to do old architecture and building these older homes.
Spend 10 minutes with Chris Cook and you know that his career choice is not about money. He's a home builder because he wants to change the way homes are built and help his clients get their dream homes. We shot this show a couple of weeks before Christmas, which is a time of year that Chris loves. He was only 40 when we visited him, but he is a very nostalgic guy.
What I'm trying to do with my homes is really bring back a lost era. If you take for example, if you're familiar with say like what a 1968 Ford Mustang looks like and all the details in those cars compared to how they make cars today. I mean, yeah, the cars are a lot more efficient, they a lot less polluting, but they don't have those details, all the little pieces that went into those cars. I feel like my homes are the same way. The details, the trim work that we put in them, the window sills, things like that, they just bring back a more simple time. I like to think about Christmas when I'm building a home. Where is a Christmas tree going to go in that house? And it's ironic that we're doing this time of year with all these Christmas trees and the holiday spirit, but I like my homes to feel like a sanctuary.
Revival's details are what most buyers see up front, but Revival Homes also perform beautifully. Chris is involved in the Green Build Home Movement, Energy Star, the Madison Area Builders Association, and Fortified for Safe Living. All of these affiliations keep him on the cutting edge and make Revival Homes energy efficient, more protected from the weather, and reduce their carbon footprint in a meaningful way. Chris tells a great story about where his love of historically accurate architectural detail and quality come from. Take a close look at this 5-panel door and a photo taken in Chris's great-grandfather's office back in 1924. Chris had not seen this photo when he built his own home.
I remember taking some pictures, and we went to visit my parents, and I showed pictures of the trim work that we were doing, and my dad says to my mother, "Hey, go get that picture of your grandfather." And my mom runs and grabs this picture and brings it back and shows it to me. And my great-grandfather had a lumber yard in Rochester, Minnesota. And there's a picture of him and his nephew in the office, and the door and the trim work that you can see in the background is exactly a spot-on match how I did my own house. And I'd never even seen that picture, didn't know it existed. It was just really kind of neat, and as my dad says, the apple really didn't fall far from the tree.
Chris is not the only one who looks on the past fondly. Revival Homes is a very hot builder. The day we conducted Chris's interview, he sold 3 homes in a pretty tough housing market. Grab a pen. We want to give you the contact information for Chris and Revival now. We will do so throughout this program. Give Chris a call if you're even thinking about building a new home in the future. or you need a wonderful remodel. He has an infectious enthusiasm about construction and all the nuance that goes along with it. He will build you an incredible home in any price range at a great value, faster than anyone I've ever seen. We spoke with several of Revival's clients, from first-time home buyers to people who've built multiple homes.
So how do I know when to change a furnace filter?
Erin Leonard hired Revival to build her first home. It's a beautiful home that Revival built on time and on budget, just like every Revival home. Like most first-time home buyers, Erin was worried about going through the building process. She thought it could be a nightmare. With Revival, it was a pleasure.
There was really no glitches. Chris was wonderful. He really, I recommend him to everybody. I felt very comfortable with him, and I kind of look up to Chris like a big brother. He was always there, and even still after the build, he's checked in with me to see how things are going.
Rose Gurrell had built 3 homes before. Revival built her stunning bungalow-style home in Pine Hill Farms. And Rose says building with Chris and the Revival team was a very different experience from the other homes she had built.
I think the main difference was really in the initial process when we were going through the design process, because it was a lot more collaborative, a lot more creative. In past houses that I built, I mean, they were all good processes. But it was sort of like if I asked for this, the builder said, sure, we could do that. But it wasn't as much of an exchange and a collaboration as this was.
Chris makes the design process a lot of fun. He has state-of-the-art computer programs that allow clients to see every detail of a home before the ground is broken. You want a different color paint? He'll put it on the computer and show you what it's going to look like. It's really incredible. It's the new way to design a home. You sit down with the builder, you design what you want, and then watch the computer animation go from an idea to a very cool new home, often in a matter of just a few months.
This is the drawing, the 3D rendering of the house. But it gives it gives the buyer such a good idea before the house is built of what it's really going to look like. A black and white drawing in one dimension just doesn't do it justice. You can get an idea, oh, that's what the side will look like, things like that. And then, we can modify it as we go. To give you an idea how this house looks, this is our drawing. And here's the actual house. So it's a spot-on match.
Chris Cook and Revival Homes are really a good match for this region. Madison is a place where people do things, even in the dead of winter. Its stunning Capitol building, its university, which is a leader in research and educated both Chris and his wife Michelle, and its rather hip business community are a good fit for Chris. This is a place where out-of-the-box thinking is valued, and that is what Brian and Jamie Stoltenberg loved about Revival Homes and Chris Cook.
He was great. He was extremely enthusiastic. After we met with him the first time, we knew that we were going to pursue that venture with Chris. So it was just infectious, and he was really excited and could tell he was passionate about delivering that product.
Time after time, it was just not what we were looking for. Just not the kind of construction we wanted, with the hollow core doors and oak trim, and we just wanted something more rich with a more homey feel to it. And so when we looked at a couple of specs that Chris had built, it was kind of like a jaw-dropping experience. We thought, oh, these are very different than the other homes that we've seen. So, and it kind of just piqued our attention, and so we started the dialogue with Chris after that.
The Stoltenberg's craftsman-style home is full of little high-end touches, such as glass doorknobs and those wonderful 5-panel doors. They make it look like craftsmen from the old days built this home. The night we were there, Jamie had just done some baking, the fire was burning, and the warmth of this wonderful place was palpable.
We had spoken with a lot of other builders in the area, and nobody that we came across was able to deliver a product like that. So all of the other builders that we had encountered were very similar, really clinical feeling homes, and not a nice warm feel.
We were definitely looking for someone to try to match our tastes in terms of building a newer house that looked like an older home.
One of the keys to success for Revival Homes is its subcontractors, the men and women who Chris has aligned himself with. Chris is very meticulous about who he works with, and he loves worry-free remodeling.
They bring my dreams to life. It's like, honest to God, their hands are like a camera lens. They can see into my mind what I'm looking for. These details are not easy to do. And they've got it, they've nailed it.
When you hire Chris and Revival, you get the worry-free team. Mark and Russ are at the top of their games. I asked Mark if he was a bit of a perfectionist.
I'd say more than that. I'm more of a really heavy perfectionist when it comes to it. If I don't like it, then I change it anyway. So
we take the time to do it right. We don't speed up our production to get done, to call it good enough. There's no such word as good enough. It's got to be the best.
Revival builds new homes, additions, and finishes basements. The Worry-Free team works with Revival and does its own remodeling projects of any kind. If you have a remodel job and you want the best, call Worry-Free. The name says it all. Chris Cook wants only the best in his Revival homes, and that's why he uses this region's premier names for flooring and furniture. First, Nuns Flooring.
Oh, they're incredible. Tamara at Nuns. I trust her wholeheartedly with every client I bring in there. She does just an absolutely wonderful job from just everything, all the selections. They provide her flooring cabinets and countertops. And even if the customer wants to use a different cabinet supplier, she'll actually be, without any hesitation, she'll work with that supplier if we have to. And she does just a knockout job with it. The houses that she's done versus the ones I've done myself, you could tell which ones she had the reins on.
The Nuns Design Showplace in Madison is simply incredible, featuring great flooring of all kinds of natural stone and countertops, and even wonderful cabinetry. A trip to Nuns is one of the most exciting days a Revival Homes buyer will ever have. Nuns even has its own stone fabrication facility, which is the largest in this part of the country. If you want to pick out your slab of granite, there are over 3,000 of them right here. The Nuns team is so experienced and helpful that Chris's buyers love what could be an intimidating process of picking out what they want.
We're very lucky at all of our locations to have designers on staff that can come in, and most people feel completely overwhelmed when they come in the showroom. So it's great that we have designers who can guide them step by step, find out what their likes, their dislikes, what are they using their home for, what are the needs, the uses, what's going on in their house, to make sure we get the best products for them.
Anything they want to do, we can help them with, whether it be the flooring, the cabinets, or the tops, whatever their image is, their dream, our designers will help build it for them.
NunsDesignShowplace.com. For a location near you, Nuns is a great family business that makes the dreams of families all over Wisconsin come true every single day. As you look at the Nuns Design Showplace, it's fun to imagine the furniture that will go in your new Revival home. Again, Chris Cook recommends the best for his clients, and McGann's Furniture is the best.
They weren't saying it was a Revival house, they said, oh, it's a McGann's house. And it was just amazing. The people that came through that they were just jaw-dropped, it seemed like, with the furniture that was in the house, and Carrie did just a spectacular job. And we really feel kind of a close alliance to McGann's. We've decorated our whole house with furniture from McGann's, and you can just tell there's this difference. They're a family-run business, and they really care about your house. They come out to the house to help you decorate it versus your typical retail-type store.
When you look at several of Revival's homes, you notice that color is really important to Chris. Though very tasteful, he's not afraid to suggest different colors for the exteriors of his homes. Revival is doing some really awesome theme homes as well, like this one, which mirrors a home in a Norwegian fishing village.
The house is surrounded in a canopy of evergreen trees, so the upstairs windows are right at the treetops. And that particular house, it was really inspired by a building you might see in Norway in a fishing village. It's built the same way. The roof pitches, the eaves and the overhangs on the house are very representational of the weather that house would take in a very wet climate.
This home is another very cool Revival theme home. Chris showed us a National Park Lodge house he designed on the computer. It was inspired by his love for parks out west. The actual home matched the computer renderings exactly. And it shows that Revival is always thinking differently, which is really exciting for Revival clients. Chris is surely a big thinker, but I can tell you from doing profiles on builders all over America, a good builder also has to be a very good detail person, and Chris Cook is meticulous about details. People considering buying a home from Revival or anyone else usually need very specific things, not to mention on time and on budget. That is where Revival Homes really shines in all price ranges. Ray and Elizabeth Blackburn moved to the Madison area from Ohio. They needed a home fast. Elizabeth's father's a builder. Ray's brother's an architect. These people know what a good builder should be, and that's why they hired Chris Cook and Revival Homes.
When we came, like I said, we came over here weekly, and we're checking the progress and what they were doing. And Dad would ask us questions, have they done this? Have they done that? You know, my husband took pictures all the time, was sending it back to both my father as well as his brother is an architect as well. So sending everything, people would ask us questions, and the foundation is the key to any household. If the foundation is not done properly, you're gonna have all sorts of problems. And it was done very, very well when we came over and took a look at it, and they would not rush that, which I was impressed with, because I know some will, to keep the process moving, they might rush past that. And they're like, we can't do anything until this is completely dry, everything is completely set, we move on from there.
The house is, at least from my perspective, it's extremely well built. For the same amount of money, we could have gotten a cookie cutter house with a much larger builder. We feel like, hopefully this is the last house we need to buy for a long time. We'd like to be here for a while, but if we did need to sell, we feel that we have something with character in a price range that would sell in the event we have to.
The Blackburn's Arts and Crafts home is stunning and full of interesting details, but most importantly, like all Revival homes, this house is very energy efficient and performs wonderfully.
The house is working great. Wow, absolutely love it. It's a very different style from what I'm used to. I came more from the traditional side. My husband likes more of the modern, so occasionally we had little bumps along the way trying to find what we liked, but we've found the Arts and Crafts really is a combination of both of our styles, and just absolutely love it.
It's an old style house, but it has the modern conveniences and insulation and so forth. You hardly hear the furnace, and we invested in a multi-zone heating system. It's very, very quiet. Couldn't be happier with it, quite honestly.
In fact, this Revival home passed muster with a tough critic, Elizabeth's dad, the builder. He gave his stamp of approval.
The craftsmanship has been fantastic. He was very impressed with what they've been able to do in the house.
Did he come in and look around like a bird dog in the bush?
Absolutely. He would look at the hardwood floors, he looked at the sockets, he looked at the lighting, and how everything was put together, yes.
If you're even thinking about building a home, adding an addition, or turning that basement into a special place for your family, call Chris Cook at Revival Homes. Revival can handle all price ranges and all sizes of homes. Building with Revival is a great experience. One of the reasons for that is the wonderful list of partners that Revival has aligned itself with, one of which is Grand Appliance and TV. Chris lets Grand Appliance handle his appliances, and walking into a Grand Appliance showroom, you'll see why. There's no better selection anywhere in all price ranges, and Chris loves the individual service his clients get with Grand. So much different than the big box stores.
Well, we have servicers working for us specifically, and we have developed relationships with the reps so that if there's an issue, we're able to expedite the service call pretty quickly. And let's say there's a part back ordered or something's time delayed, we're able to probably get a little quicker than most places because we've got that relationship.
There really is a difference. Why not get great price, great value, and great selection? Grand's motto fits perfectly with Revival Homes. You make it home, we make it grand. You gotta love it. Grand Appliance and TV since 1930. You don't last that long unless you're good. In this case, Grand. Chris also likes to use closets by Techline. You have got to see what Techline can do with your closets, your office in your home or at work, or your pantry, any place in your home or business where you need some unbelievable organization. We can all use that.
Techline, they're so consultative with the clients. They just really know, they know how a closet is supposed to function, and the clients that we have brought to Techline they've done such a good job, and it just makes such a big difference.
It really is amazing what the great folks at Techline can do for you. Personalize your space your way with Techline. You'll be very glad you did. Another key player in a Revival home is the team from R&R Garage Doors. These guys are the best.
What I like about R&R is their garage doors are so quiet. They move up and down so quiet, and it's just no squeaking. They're very consistent, and they're always there when I need them. If a customer has a problem with a door, R&R is there. They're just automatic. They're there.
Chris loves to show before and after photos of Aaron Leonard's home. Look at the difference between a white temporary garage door and the beautiful carriage-style door that R&R put on. You don't have to live with that squeaky, drafty garage door anymore. It detracts from the look of your home and is downright annoying. Call R&R. Millwork is something that really sets Revival Homes apart from the rest, and Chris says the great team at Millwork Specialists of Wisconsin really makes a difference for him.
All the guys at Millwork, they know, they now know exactly what I'm looking for in these details, and they get it done. They just get it done, and never had a problem with not having enough trim. When the project's done, they come and take it all away, and they just everything about Millwork. They're just so polite and so honest. Just an excellent family-run business, and they're another one of those people that make me look good.
Millwork Specialists of Wisconsin handles the doors, trims, spindles, you name it inside a Revival home, and many others in this part of the Midwest. Millwork's president gives credit to the craftsmen and women who care so much about every product that comes out of this 20,000 square foot facility in Madison.
We definitely deliver on time. Our back order rate is less than 1%. We maintain a large inventory here, so if a customer needs one spindle or one door to finish up a job, we can literally do it in a day.
Whether it is one house or a 140-unit apartment building, Millwork Specialists of Wisconsin can handle the job, doing it right every time. Chris is a total stickler about moisture in his homes, and he leaves that to the experts at Zander Solutions.
Zander Solutions is our waterproofer, and it's really interesting in the building game. One of the biggest problems in homes today that people worry about is moisture. Moisture on the windows, wet basements, where's it coming from? And there are shortcuts that a guy could make to save some money when waterproofing a basement, but to me it's not worth it. The guys at Zander Solutions offer an excellent warranty for a dry basement, and they know how to do it right. We use a lot of clear stone on our projects. We utilize all the resources that Zander has to get the job done right. In fact, they have a new barrier called EnviroDry that we're going to start putting on our homes on the exterior walls. And basically, if you're familiar with what different house wraps are, like Tyvek or Typar, it's a barrier that's put on to help control moisture. But like anything, you put that product on and you put your siding on, you're driving holes through it and everything like that. This new product, EnviroDry, it's actually applied to the exterior shell of the house. And it's a black roll-on product that isn't subject to wind damage, penetration problems. When you drive a nail through it, it actually seals the nail as it goes in. That's going to really ensure a more moisture-free house.
Call Zander Solutions for any waterproofing, concrete restoration, radon, epoxy floors, window wells, or decking work you might have. Remember, waterproofing isn't done right unless it's Zander tight. Chris and the Revival Homes team are working all over the Madison region right now, but be sure and ask him about Harmony Pond. He and two real estate pros, Roger Bowden of Smith Bowden Real Estate and Pam McSherry, who's with Restaino, are working on it right now.
Working on a little development. It's called Harmony Pond. It's an 11-site subdivision with huge lots, anywhere from an acre on up to 4 acres. And I think the most expensive lot's somewhere around $130,000, which in this economy and with the way things are going in Madison, lots are moving fairly well. But when you compare it to other subdivisions, it's literally $100,000 less for a lot, and the views are gorgeous. We're surrounded by, I think we got like 23 acres of conservancy dedicated to the development, so no one will have a backyard neighbor.
It would be hard to pin down one theme for Revival Homes, but if I had to do it, it would be quality. Derek Westrom is a commercial contractor. He and his wife had 2 children, including a very young baby, when they hired Revival to build their stunning home in McFarland's Parkview Estates. Derek is in construction. He knows all about quality. Derek says he also loves Chris's enthusiasm. He recalls the first day he and his wife met Chris.
wow, this guy's really excited, and it made us excited.
This home has a great open floor plan with all kinds of little touches. Look at this nook in the foyer, for example. But for Derek, the performance of the house is what stands out.
Excellent so far. I mean, can't complain about anything. We've been in about 6 months, and I think my wife still looks at me and says, I love this house, at least once a week.
The story is the same for the Ronenbergs, Cheryl and Luke. They've got 3 beautiful children and a beautiful new Revival home. It's an awesome blue color and sits up on a hill in their Cross Plains subdivision. And once you've seen Revival's work, you can spot a Revival home like this one.
They're distinct, they stand out. There's just little things about them that are different from the rest of them.
Building a house with 2 very young children and 1 on the way could have been very stressful. But Cheryl says Chris makes you feel so at ease, never condescending or short. He is such a pro. You know you're in good hands.
My initial meeting with him, I felt like he seemed like a good guy, a family guy. I think he understood our situation in the sense that he has children also, and I felt like we kind of had a rapport right from the start.
Chris Cook and Revival Homes truly are changing the building industry in this market. They are innovators, they are green on the cutting edge of energy efficiency, but most of all they are listening to their clients and then helping them make their dreams come true. How often do you hear this from someone who's built a home?
It was actually a lot of fun building with Revival Homes. I've built 3 other homes, so I knew what to expect.
Chris loves what the future will hold, like this wonderful kitchen in Rose's home. The future for Revival Homes is wide open, wonderfully different, and very bright.
I want these homes to be a legacy. I want my daughter, when 20 years from now, she's driving down the street, she'll be able to say, my dad built that house, he built that house, and other people as well, that someday when I retire, you'll know what a Revival home is.
No worries there, Chris. I ask Revival clients the same question. Would you or have you recommended Revival Homes to others?
Oh, I'd recommend them to anyone. And I think they're a first-class builder that produces a great product and a product on time, which is crucial when you're in the home building process.
Erin Leonard, the first-time home buyer, is already thinking about her next Revival home. Has she recommended Revival to others?
Oh yes, lots of people.
I would definitely recommend Revival Homes to others. I'm not a person that likes to deal with all of this. I'm usually too busy and I don't have the time, and it's more of a headache for me, and this was, for the most part, a pretty painless process. I didn't have to do a whole lot.
I asked Brian and Jamie Stoltenberg if they've recommended Revival.
Yes, we have. So we've recommended Revival to others and would definitely work with Revival Homes again. Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah, we've had a lot of friends who've come over to visit ask who we built with, and as Brian mentioned, we probably will build again. In fact, Chris and Brian have already been discussing the lot of choice and the house type, so my assumption is that within 5 to 10 years we'll be doing this again with Revival. Give Chris Cook and the Great Revival Homes team a call. As a guy who travels all over the country doing this television show about builders, take it from me, Revival Homes truly is one of America's best builders. For Builder Spotlight Television, I'm Rich Noonan. We'll see you next time.